I'll say that again. You do not need to be talented to be rich and famous. People are talked about more in the media when they do something controversial and bad than when they do something good. More attention, more money. Why would somebody stop doing stupid things if they never have to financially face the repercussions of it? Hey everybody, my name is Flora, and for this week's video, we're gonna be talking about something I don't like talking about. I hate talking about it. I absolutely do not like talking about it. We're gonna be talking about rich people who are stupid. There's a lot of different ways that somebody can be rich, right? You can either inherit wealth, you got rich parents, so you're already rich and you basically can do whatever you want, and most likely you're going to choose to do something that requires the least amount of effort but has the most payoff so that you can maintain your low effort, large money lifestyle, right? Then there are people who grew up in the middle class, middle upper class. They basically have access, which makes things and life a lot easier for them because they have access to good education, to schools, the best schools even. They had access to tutors, they had access to do extra sports that, boating or whatever. They basically had access to the resources to get them to a place of financial wealth. So they might have thought that they got there by themselves, but their parents still had money type of thing. They might even think that they were a part of the working class, but they were never a part of the working class. And yes, they might have worked hard, but in reality, they had access and their starting line was ahead of a lot of other people's. And then there are people who grew up poor or in poverty or a part of the working class, and they worked really, really hard and they got lucky and they attained wealth. Usually through celebrity status. It's usually like they worked really hard and then they got famous and then they got money. I find that often the stories that get the most highlighted in media is the stories of the people who grew up poor but worked super hard and then they got money. And these are the underdog stories. These are the stories that most people can relate to the most because it's the most relatable. It's like we're all rooting for those underdog people and those underdog stories. People who were high school and college dropouts making a lot of money. And I think the messaging that we often see from these stories is that of, oh, if you work hard enough and you never give up, then you will succeed. And that is simply not true. There are a lot of people who will work hard, very, very hard in life, and they will never get to the place of success and financial wealth that these people attain. These people attained that amount of wealth in spite of their circumstances. They were anomalies. They are not the blueprint. There is an element of luck that plays a part in these success stories. These people just happen to be at the right place at the right time, and all their hard work paid off because they were given an opportunity and they stood out, and then that led them to succeed. So this idea that hard work equals success is unfortunately not true for many, many people. I'm not gonna sit here and say that rich people don't work hard. I'm sure rich people work very hard at their jobs, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that rich people work harder than the working class because I don't think that's true. But in this video, I'm not talking about all rich people. So we're gonna leave out the lawyers and the doctors and, the people who own big companies. We're gonna leave all those people out, and we'll talk mainly about public figures. Talk about celebrities and influencers because those are the main rich people that are in the public eye. The fact of the matter is, you do not need to be talented to be rich and famous. I'll say that again. You do not need to be talented to be rich and famous. To be a celebrity, you might have to be a little bit talented, at least a little bit talented, just at least a little bit. Unless you're a model and come from a rich family, then you don't have to be that talented, but you have to have some, a backbone at least, right? Influencers, on the other hand, and internet people, you don't really need a talent to be an influencer. Like, you do not need to be talented. I'm sure we all know, especially from all the TikTok stars that just blew up the past few years. And I think this is a phenomena that we're seeing a lot more now, especially with just the large growth that social media has made in the past few decades. We're seeing so many stupid young rich people. So you might ask, what's like, who cares? So what if there's stupid people who are now rich and famous? Well, the thing is, they influence, right? Like, they are influencers for a reason. They do influence. They hold influence. Anyone who has a large following on any account is an influencer, whether they are an actor, a celebrity, a singer, I don't care. They're influencers. People follow them, and every post that they make, they are influencing people, whether they like it or not. I know a lot of celebrities are using the excuse, well, I didn't ask to influence anyone, I didn't ask for this responsibility, but having a large social media account that has a lot of followers, you are automatically an influencer. It doesn't matter if you asked for the responsibility or not, you have it. It has been given to you because people follow you. So you do have that responsibility. And people are noticing more and more now how dangerous that really is, because these influencers are going and saying this and that and doing this and that and claiming this and that. Oh, if he doesn't buy you a Birkin bag, then
if he wasting your time, if he not getting you a Birkin, if he not paying for your bills, then throw that nigga back to the streets, okay?
Literally in the middle of the pandemic, when people were losing their jobs and were struggling to pay rent, people are realizing like how stupid they are and how out of touch with reality they are because of their money, because of their wealth and their fame. They don't know you, you don't know them. Like, they don't owe anything to you, you don't owe anything to them. I think people are realizing that a lot more now, especially in the past few months, the past year. Even everything that was going on with the COVID parties, where these TikTokers and influencers were going to parties and spreading COVID during a pandemic that was affecting so many people, and they are going because they do not care and they know that their money will not be impacted, and whatever the effect will be on them is not as much as the rest of the society, and they just simply do not care.
Today, I authorized the city to disconnect utility service at a house in the Hollywood Hills to stop the large parties held there.
Couldn't we have just stayed at home for a few more weeks, like all the other countries that were fine and are better than we are? Like, did we really all need to go to Saddle Ranch that badly that, like, we couldn't have waited for the deathly pandemic to pass? We don't fucking care!
Not to mention that a lot of people on TikTok are younger people. When you're young, you are influenced more. Your brain isn't even fully developed until your mid-20s. Not only are their brains not fully developed, but they're still in that stage of trying to figure out who they are and the type of person they want to be, and they're being influenced by these people that are completely out of touch with reality, that have so much money that is not going to be attainable for the majority of people. That's who they have to look up to. That's who they have to be influenced by. And like, I would argue that a lot of influencers are even more influential than celebrities, because influencers put their life on the internet. Celebrities, maybe they're just actors or singers or whatever, they might still put their life on the internet, but It's not like they profit off of their life. They profit off of their art or their music or whatever. And so these influencers will make stupid decisions and do stupid things and say stupid things. And usually they give, really terrible apologies, and people forgive them. Their audiences forgive them because their audiences are young and they don't care. Because we don't fucking care. That doesn't mean though that these stupid decisions that they're making goes unnoticed, because it definitely does not. But you know what? You know how they say all publicity is good publicity? This can be seen with so many different examples. I'll start with Trump. I actually don't even know when he first announced that he was running for president, but whenever he did, he was literally on every single news site. Every single news channel was talking about how Trump was running for president, how unbelievable that was, and they were basically spreading his campaign message to even more people, to a wider reach of audiences.
This time, it's for real.
Billionaire Donald Trump says he really is running for president. Will it be significant?
It's not yet clear to me that this isn't going to be yet another publicity stunt.
One question about Trump, he certainly gets all the press. We're not going to give him that much, but...
Donald Trump announced that he's officially running for president. Jenny, could he actually win?
No freaking way!
They did his campaigning for him. He didn't even have to try, because he reached the audience members that he wanted and needed to reach, and he got their votes, clearly.
When he was announcing that he was going to run, every news story is, they don't like people in his own party, they don't like and people in another party, they really don't like him. It was like, oh, this is perfect. He's making everybody upset.
A really interesting time in 4chan is Trump's initial announcement that he is running for president. If you look at the 4chan threads, before Trump's speech, they was fairly skeptical. But then they saw a lot of these things in his rhetoric that they liked. They saw nationalism, they saw white nationalism, and almost immediately you'll see people being like, can we get a Pepe with Donald Trump hair? I want to start circulating this. And that happened, that's within hours.
During the campaign, there was an effort by 4chan to get other people to support the president by creating memes. And then when you hypercharge it by having the president retweet it, you felt like you were part of this rebel group, this insurgency.
How does an image like this end up on Donald Trump's Twitter account?
This is Donald Trump co-opting the idea of himself, sort of substituted as Pepe.
I would even argue that he won because he was such a controversial candidate. So many people saw his campaign and said, oh, that's a hell of a guy. I want to vote for him because he's a joke and this is how I feel right now and America's a joke. I'm voting for Trump. You know who ran the most unproblematic campaign? You know who the most unproblematic candidate was? Presidential candidate? Bernie Sanders. And y'all did Bernie Sanders so dirty. Honestly, he should have just came out with a scandal. He would have gotten so much more votes. I kid you not, if Bernie Sanders released a sex tape, he would have won. He would have won. Honestly, Bernie, you should have made me your campaign strategist, okay? I digress. Another example, Lil Nas X, when he released his Call Me By Your Name Montero song music video, perfect promotion, because he didn't even need to promote it. Everyone was already talking about him. Everyone was already talking about how he went down to hell in a stripper pool and gave Satan a lap dance because it was so controversial. And literally people who had no idea who this man was talking about him. I talked about Lil Nas X in 2 of my university classes in Canada, in Montreal. We had in-depth discussions in 2 of my classes about Lil Nas X, and neither of my teachers have ever heard of him before. And why? Because that video was so controversial and so many people were talking about it. I have no idea why, but it literally gave him like superstar status, I swear to God. People are talked about more in the media when they do something controversial and bad than when they do something good. Purely because people just love to hate on others. People just love to hate on people. And honestly, like, I can't even blame them. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. You can't even lie and say that you've never hated on somebody or a celebrity, because that is a lie. Okay, everybody does it. And especially on social media, you can go on TikTok and look at the comments of like the most controversial videos. All the top comments are literally hate comments. So if you think about it, every time one of these stupid celebrities who are already rich do something stupid or say something stupid, it just gives them even more attention and even more money, puts even more money into their pockets. So why would they stop? Why would they stop? Literally, Paris Hilton built her whole brand on being a dumb blonde.
I don't know.
What is Walmart? Is like they sell wall stuff?
No.
What is it?
And anytime a celebrity or an influencer, usually an influencer, says something stupid, makes a stupid comment, or does something stupid, it literally becomes a joke. People talk about it and then make it into a joke. And that only gets more people to know who they are, know their name or face. That just gives them more attention at the end of the day. The more stupid and controversial things that they do, the more people talk about them. The more people talk about them, the more attention towards them and the more traction towards their page. More attention, more money. More money, more rich, more famous, etc., etc. It just keeps going. Why would somebody stop doing stupid things if they never have to financially face the repercussions of it? You tell me. There are certain celebrities and influencers that I knew their name before I even knew who they were. For example, Lil Huddy. Okay, I had no idea who Lil Huddy was. I thought maybe this is a new rapper. I was confused. People always talked about him in the N-word. I was like, oh, is he like a rapper who's like mixed but looks white and then says that? I was so confused. He's a TikTok man. He's a little like 14-year-old white TikTok boy who like randomly said the N-word. I don't know. Another one, Nikita Dragon. I heard Nikita Dragon's name before I even knew who this girl was. I honestly think she is famous for nothing. Like, what is she even, where did she get famous? How did she get this? Who did this? Whose fault is this? Who can I talk to? Kim Kardashian is another one. I literally knew Kim Kardashian's name. I think we all were at this point, honestly. We all knew who Kim Kardashian was, but we did not know who, like what, why, who, where she came from. Like, I know most people knew that she like, you know, made that little movie or whatever, but I didn't know about that because when that came out, I was like 10. So I just knew who Kim Kardashian was before I knew who Kim Kardashian was, and same with all her family siblings. So the stupid and rich stay stupid and rich. Why wouldn't they? They don't ever have to face any repercussions for being stupid, and they never lose anything, including followers, including money, including sponsorships. Like, they stay stupid. They stay stupid. Unless a celebrity or influencer does something so disgusting and just like beyond repair that they actually do like go into exile, like some people, you know, who I hope never comes back. For the most part, I feel like most influencers know what they can get away with. All the influencers were partying during COVID because they knew that they could get away with it. And they did. Most of them got away with it unscathed. Didn't even see an effect. Even celebrities were calling them out. Big influencers and celebrities were calling them out. And they literally got away untouched. And we just keep talking about them and they just keep getting more attention and more money. And that's all. And that's why I try not to talk about them. I hate talking about them because I don't want to contribute to giving them any more attention. Please don't look up anyone I said in this video. Please don't look at them. Literally close your eyes. Please, I'm begging you. There's not much anyone can do about it because people on the internet love hating on people, and unfortunately hating on people doesn't actually do much. For a majority of them, they're just not gonna go away. So I'm just gonna try not to talk about them. Unless they do something really stupid that I just, like, I need to talk about it, because if they do something really stupid, then